promise that the testimony you're about to give will faithfully and truthfully conform to the facts and rules of my trial?
Yes, sir, I do.
You may be seated.
May it please the court?
You may proceed.
Would you state your name, please?
Cody Grant.
And are you a student?
Yes, I'm a junior at Truman High School.
Do you know Chris Hall?
Yes, I do.
And how do you know Chris Hall?
She is a senior at Truman too, but we've had classes together.
Do you have any classes with her this semester?
Yes, we have third hour advanced chemistry together.
Do you know Taylor Jennings?
Yes, I do.
And how do you know Taylor Jennings?
She's a senior as well. She's in the same third hour advanced chemistry class as Chris Hall and myself.
I want to direct your attention to February 28th of this year. Were you, Taylor Jennings, and Chris Hall in third hour advanced chemistry together?
Yes, we were.
And what were you doing in class that day?
We were performing a shoe cloning experiment at our lab tables.
And when you were doing these experiments, what does this entail?
We would follow the procedures Mr. Vaney had written on the board and observe each step, make notes, and then fill out a lab report to turn in in class. The lab report was a big part of our final grade, and it was good fun.
When you were conducting experiments in class, were students free to move about the classroom, or did they have to stay in their lab seats all hour?
On the 28th, we were free to move about. I mean, there was movement from lab tables to the desk area and back. Students would move to the desk area to retrieve pencils, paper, and then report back to the lab table to proceed with the experiment.
And you mentioned backpacks. Where did the students place their backpacks?
On the floor beneath their desks.
And would anyone have access to the backpacks during class?
Sure, there was no security. Anyone in the classroom had access to their backpacks.
Do you know if Taylor Jennings had a backpack on February 28th?
Yes, I do.
How do you know?
Because I saw it.
Where was it?
It was on the floor beside her desk.
And do you know if Chris Hall had a backpack on February 28th?
Yes, I do.
And how do you know?
Because I saw it as well. It was right on the floor next to Taylor's bag.
How do you know you saw these two backpacks on February 28th?
Because Taylor was seated at her desk, and then she was in the area of the backpacks, and I saw her with an unusual object that wasn't anything like the other objects the students were retrieving from her backpacks.
What kind of object?
It looked to be a film canister, possibly a C battery.
Could you tell which backpack Taylor was disturbing?
Not really. It looked to be a dark colored backpack, but both of the backpacks were dark, so.
Did you ever see this object, the film canister or CD-sized battery, in Taylor Jennings' possession?
No, I did not.
Mr. Grant, why did you notice Taylor Jennings' actions on February 28th that the students were moving about the classroom?
Because she sat at her desk for so long, and in the area of the backpacks for so long. Plus, the object I saw her with wasn't the same pencil and paper that everybody else was retrieving.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Is this a fair and accurate representation of Exhibit 9A, of Exhibit 9?
Yes, I believe it.
Your Honor, may I have the witness approach the demonstrative exhibit?
Sure. You step down.
Mr. Grant, would you show the jury where your desk was located on February 28, 2011 with the green marker?
My desk was located at the back of the rows in the center.
Now, would you please show the jury where Taylor Jennings' desk was located on February 28th?
Her desk was located at the front of the rows closest to the door.
Now, could you show the jury where Chris Hall's desk was located on February 28th?
Front row next to Taylor Jennings' desk.
Could you show the jury where your lab seat was located on February 28th?
First. My lab seat was located right here, facing the door of the classroom.
Would you please show the jury where Taylor Jennings' desk lab seat was located?
Her lab seat was located right here, facing the entirety of the classroom.
And would you please show the jury where Chris Hall's lab seat was located?
He was located right here, closest to the door, with his back away from any activity in the classroom.
And could you show the jury where you were when you saw Taylor Jennings in possession of the film canister or COD-sized battery?
I was located at my lab table.
Now, could you show the jury where Taylor Jennings was when she possessed the object you described as the film canister or CD-sized battery?
She was in the area of her desk.
Now, could you show the jury with the black marker where the backpacks were of Chris Hall and Taylor Jennings?
Taylor Jennings' backpack and Chris Hall's backpack were both in the area next to the desks.
Everybody see that? Was everybody able to see? Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Grant, I noticed you wear glasses. Is your eyesight strong enough to see from your seat?
Yes, with my glasses on, I have no problem seeing.
Do you have any other classes with Taylor Jennings this semester?
Yes, we have 4th hour study hall. I believe it says release on our schedules.
Did anything unusual happen in 4th hour study hall on February 28th?
Yes, I heard Taylor say she reported seeing someone with drugs to the principal.
How did she say this?
She was bragging about it.
Did you ever talk to Taylor about ACT scores?
Yes, I did.
And what did you say?
I told her that Chris Hall had gotten a 35 in his ACT.
And why would Taylor be interested in this?
Because they were competing to be valedictorian, and so far they had been tied in grade point average for the year, and so the next tiebreaker was ACT scores. And everyone had known Taylor Jennings had gotten a 33 because she told everyone.
And how did Taylor Jennings react to your telling her about Chris Hall's 35 on the ACT?
She seemed very upset and obviously jealous.
I have no more questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Cross-examination.
Use the court.
You may proceed.
Now, Mr. Grant, I've read your testimony. You seem like a very important witness in their case, yet you never came forward to offer your knowledge over the topic to the officer down or Principal Norris, did you?
Not directly, no.
In fact, you never told anyone, even after you heard people talking and knew Miss Hall was in trouble for drugs, correct?
No, I did not.
All right. So, your testimony was not important enough to share at the time this crime took place, correct?
No, I guess not.
All right. You wear corrective lenses, correct?
Yes, I do.
All right. And on the day in question, isn't it true that you were wearing goggles over your lenses?
Yes, it was.
You even said in your sworn statement that you couldn't see very well through your goggles, correct?
It was a little fuzzy, but I could see fine.
All right. And, but you were on the back row looking clear across the room for the atomic weight of carbon, correct?
Yes.
All right. And, isn't it true that you said that you saw Mr. Jennings hold something the size of a battery?
It was a circular object, yeah.
All right. And isn't it true that you said you couldn't tell if Mr. Jennings was taking the object out or putting it in the bag?
It's true.
All right. And you even said that you couldn't even tell the bags apart, correct?
They were very similar.
All right. So, isn't the eraser about the same size as a C or D battery?
I suppose, but not nearly the same shape.
All right. Isn't it true that the whole situation can be explained by Mr. Jennings trying to find an eraser in his backpack?
No, that's not very likely.
All right. And yet, but you thought it was weird that he stayed at his desk for so long, correct?
Yes.
All right. And didn't you time it for about a full minute?
Around so, yeah.
All right. And so, why do you have something against Mr. Jennings?
I have nothing against Mr. Jennings.
You just admitted that while the rest of the class worked on their work, you took a full minute to time Mr. Jennings looking in his backpack.
Objection argumentative.
It's overruled. It's cross-examination. Go ahead.
I believe it's a fair connection to make that you would have something against him if you're going to watch him for a full minute. What did Mr. Jennings do to you?
Nothing.
Aren't you good friends with the defendant, Krista Hall?
Yeah, but I'm friends with Taylor Jennings as well.
Yet, you even in your sworn statement said that you, with Chris Hall, played a trick on Mr. Jennings.
A harmless prank.
A harmless prank that he reacted to.
Yes.
So would that be a prank?
Yes, it would be.
And so on the day in question, continuing, what you're trying to say is you knowingly had eyesight problems, but you stayed as far away from the board as possible. Then you timed Mr. Jennings getting into his bag, keeping you away from your own work, and that all this is the truth, yet you have no problem at all with Mr. Jennings.
No.
All right, thank you. No further questions.
Thank you. Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may step down. Then it may call the next witness.